Okay, it's called to order the Board of Works meeting for March 16th. Please stand for the pledge and the prayer.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, we thank you for this evening gathered together. Ask that you bless our time together and bless and keep everyone safe as they travel home. Thank you again for this time working together and collaborating, caring for our city. It is an amazing privilege that we don't take lightly. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, a roll call. Sarah Collis,
Present.
Tim Smith, Roger Cuneo,
Present.
Jeremy Vanderman,
Here.
City Attorney Jewel Lee,
Here.
Clerk Treasurer Darcy Vanderman, and I'm also here. Any questions over the February 17th meeting minutes? If not, accept a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I say, oh, sorry, Roger.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Any questions over the March 2nd meeting minutes? If not, accept a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. EJP representative.
How are you guys?
Good.
Ryan Baker with EJ Prescott.
What's up there?
We are in partnership with City of Alexandria to help supply them and educate them with waterworks industry. In front of you guys, I did should have a folder inside. It's got the our contract. I believe you guys had some questions regarding it. You want to speak up on them, please do that now, and I can answer to the best of my ability.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's just statutory requirements of the contract. I mean, you need to have E-Verify and non-discrimination in every service contract with the municipality. So we redlined that to be in there. And then we also took out some language that we didn't think was consistent with or what should be in a municipal contract. So.
Yeah, if you can email me what you revised, I will send it to Todd Moody. He's our head guy with our VAS program. I can't see it being a problem. We've altered contractors with other VAS customers. So however you want it to read, I can't see us not being able to make that happen. So anything else regarding the contract? So inside that, I got a paper that's just what VAS is. What we do is we manage your inventory. Each week I come down, I take a look at your shelves and what you have. In communication all the time with Eric and Mark Caldwell, Rennie.
Can we have you real quick? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
go over the microphone over there.
Absolutely.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're
It's new setup for us too. There's a button on it. You might have to turn it on.
Can you hear me?
That work?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yep.
There it goes. All right. So why you should be VAS? What we do is we manage your inventory. Can
I'll turn.
Hello?
She's saying they still can't hear him out there. Turn it up or down.
Yeah.
I'll turn it up a little bit. He can.
you hear me better?
We might just raise that up a little bit.
I need to shrink down a little bit.
You're too tall.
Hello, there we go. All right, so what we do is we help the City of Alexandria Water Department manage their inventory. I go in once a week. I communicate with Eric and Mark. If they use a part, we immediately replace it and maintain a minimum inventory valuation and parts on their shelves. So they go out and fix the service. They use a corporation, a valve stop, and meter set. So they write it down. Eric calls me, or I come in and I see that it's missing off the shelf. And in our computer system, we are able to readjust their inventory. Along with this, we each year we do a full inventory audit. I go in and I count every single piece of inventory that they have and get a complete cycle count. And then we are able to give you an exact monetary valuation of what you have in your inventory. If you pull out this City of Alexandria Inventory Report 3426, this one right here, this is going to show you every single item that is down at their water department. So brass and hydrants and everything that is down there. We know this is accurate because we did it earlier this year, and we've kept up on the inventory of what they've used and what we've replaced. The very back of this, it has a total valuation of what is down there, and that is at $65,935. Every invoice that alters, and we actually have a software system, AS400. It's the same software that like Walmart uses. It looks old and prehistoric, but it works very well. Eric, we've set it up on their computer. So Eric is able to go in and receive items, invoices. It automatically populates into this right here. So they, at any time, any moment, they're able to see exactly what they have and what they need to get reordered. So on this here, you'll see we lock in our prices for the entire year. Other than copper tube size water pipe and PVC, those are, markets can fluctuate. We do lock them in, however, for 1 month at a time. So you guys have a project you want to get done, we can get you very, very close to the monetary value it's going to take to do that project as far as material goes by using this here. So I think the most important part of this is we provide 24-hour or 24/7 emergency services. City of Alexandria over the last 20 years has capitalized on this quite a few times. For instance, I believe it was 2 summers ago, you guys had a main break right in front of one of your water towers. Had we not showed up within the time that we did, that tower was going to completely drain. City of Alexandria would have had to issue a boil advisory. So because of this service, we are required to drop what we are doing, get in our trucks, and respond per the contract that you have in front of you. So
when we had the main break on 6th Street where I mean, if it wasn't for them and we had to wait 8, 10, 12 hours for them to get the water off, for one, we would have been out fire protection. The homes would have got flooded. I mean, it would have been a bad deal, and they really took care of stuff.
yeah, one of the other aspects that we differentiate from our competitors, we do have a service department. I know calling in a contractor here in the middle of the night, that bill is going to be substantially more expensive than our regular hourly rate. We do not overcharge you guys. And then here it just says, let me find it. Yeah, we will provide emergency 24/7 services, and you only have to pay for the service, which is the material that we bring, and the mileage, which we're out of Fort Wayne. We don't charge mileage unless it's over like a 4-hour drive. So you are gaining tremendously from a monetary standpoint with that service there. So we provide warranty on the product. So if we get a faulty curb stop, we are required to bring it back and work with our vendors. You guys won't see any issues with that. Another one that we do, and we actually used this last spring, we provide a 1 week leak detection audit. So we bring in our leak detection equipment and we do an audit of your system. Eric last spring knew of a leak. They could not find it out on, I'm not even sure what highway this is or road, but it's at 13 or excuse me, on 9. I was able to bring in our equipment. We were able to pinpoint exactly where that leak was, and we were able to save the city quite a bit of money and lost revenue of that main break. So we actually were able to provide the city of Alexandria with the same leak detection equipment, and they are able to go out and find those leaks now as well. So we provide the training and any kind of technical questions. All of that is free because of your VAS contract with us. I kind of went over it as well, but from the accounting standpoint, understanding and knowing exactly where your inventory valuation is, I believe is very important. Your end of the year inventory, PUC reports. So one last thing is, we also provide we provide up to 1 10-hour OSHA construction course a year for free. I don't know the exact costs on what it would take to provide an OSHA 10 for your employees. However, I know what it costs from us because it's free. We've got safety professionals in our company that come in and offer you the training. If you pull this one out right here, there's a OSHA construction 10-hour and 30-hour, OSHA general industry 10-hour, 30-hour excavation training, confined spaces training, work zone safety, CPR, first aid, AED, bloodborne pathogens, emergency action plans, forklift, economics, lockout, tagout, silica hand and power tools, hazardous communications, machining, guarding, personal protection equipment, respiratory protection, and walking working services. So we believe that our VAS customers really benefit from these free OSHA safety courses that we provide. So I don't have anything else. I guess one other thing along the inventory lines, this is our 2026 pricing. Every single part number that we provide through EJP is in this book. So you guys might not actually stock it, but if you're doing a project and, hey, we need a certain, non-stock that we don't provide or keep on our shelves, you immediately can get access to the pricing. And you can get a quote doing it yourself. Obviously, I will help with that. But the main thing is we believe this is a partnership, and obviously the benefit for the city of Alexandria is our inventory management and everything that is provided. Our benefit from EJ Prescott is in the contract, it states that if we can provide it, you need to buy it through us. Now, if you take this price book and compare it to our competition, I believe it'd be very accurate with what they're providing their material to their customers as well. So we're not gouging. The benefit from us is we get the volume out of it. We're selling everything to you, and in return, you guys receive the benefits that we provide through the VAS program. So any questions?
I have a couple. So in layman's terms, it's almost like a first right of refusal. We go to you first, and if you can provide it, we purchase it through you guys.
Yes.
If you can't, obviously, and you can't get here in time, if we got to purchase it somewhere else, it's no ding, no conflict of the contract, no strikes. But
no, if we cannot provide it, and an example is this: we are no longer with census meters.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have census meters right now. We made the change to cam strip meters 2 years ago now. Couple times you guys have asked for your handheld, which we were lucky to actually have some used ones out at our home office. We actually gave you guys one because we really don't have a use for them anymore. So if we can get it out to our VAS customers, we would much rather do that. So, however, if in that census system you need something that we don't have, or like you'll have to go to Core & Main and buy that. We can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. It is what it is. So yeah, just first right of refusal, I suppose, is the right term for that.
And then if I can, these VS points,
Yeah.
what do the points go towards?
You can use those for anything. Most of our customers use it for a purchase, like a PO, like instead of, paying for it out of your city budget, just, hey, we'll use our credit towards that. Most of the time, our customers, we see like, hey, we need a new jig for our GIS system. Well, it's $3,500. Hey, you guys got $3,800 in your points, so we'll apply that to a PO for it.
Got it. Similar like points of the, for lack of a better term, any other store you shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
11% off Menards. Yeah.
Tools, yeah. Since '05. Okay.
On above and beyond, our old salesman was great, but Ryan's really stepped it up. We've gone through the entire inventory, because if you've ever been on the farm, it was a mess. So we've got everything categorized, we've organized everything, we got an accurate count. And I mean, he's really gone above and beyond to help us.
So is this a renewal? This isn't something new, right?
No, we've had the VS program offering it to our customers since '94, I believe. So over 30 years now. Each year we re-sign the contract. So we'll be coming in next month. If you wish to continue this, I hope we do. We'll come in next month and re-sign the agreement, which is in front of you. So we do that every April with all of our customers.
We do a tentative if
Yeah.
based on legal review, or what's the step that we're looking for? For as far as a vote or,
I mean, that's up to the board to make a determination. We've got things that have to be in the contract or it's not a valid contract.
yeah.
So.
Make sure they make the changes. How many years have we been with you guys?
Since 2004 or 5. I think it was 5 because I was a sophomore when it started.
Hey, easy now. If this motion is acceptable, I'd like to make a motion to approve their proposed contract based upon legal review, and that it will have to have the red lines, adopted and
Yeah.
agreed upon. And once we receive that copy back, if legal is okay with it, that I would make a motion that we could engage in the agreement and move forward.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So,
Explaining it.
absolutely.
Just to update you on some old business, the professional service agreement for the water loss audit and validation. We've reached out to some companies. They're getting us some pricing. Also, we found out through reaching out to companies that Alliance will do that for free. So we're checking to see the extent of what they do for free. So we should have something by next meeting. Okay. Consideration of approval for City of Alexandria Utilities delinquent utility payment agreement.
Has this been ran through legal?
Have you seen that? Probably not.
I think it was provided in the packet, but we haven't had time to go through it.
Are we on any kind of time crunch for that to get passed or reviewed or set as a policy?
Probably not. We could,
Couple weeks,
We can
let them
table it.
review it. Yeah. If that's okay, I wouldn't mind reviewing it and see if we got comments or recommendations.
I think we should have the attorneys look at it before we sign it.
Absolutely. I'll move to keep it on the table until the next meeting.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, our Motorola agreement.
Is it on now?
No, I think you just turned it off.
How about now?
Yes.
All right. We're currently in year 4 or 5 of our body camera contract. That contract is based upon pricing from 2021. We're looking at a new contract starting next year. I expected that cost to more than double. I met with our Motorola rep, who is our current body cam provider. They're willing to do a 5-year extension to our existing contract at that existing 2021 pricing. So if we approve the extension, it's right around $64,000 broken up over 5 years. That money is already set aside, budgeted. We've paid that for the last 4 years. But by approving this extension, that's going to save us roughly $65,000.
Awesome.
Thank you for your work on getting that same rate.
I appreciate it. It's a big weight off the shoulders knowing that we
I mean,
avoided that.
it's
huge
something
cost.
we have to have.
Yeah. So that's for you guys to consider that and approve it. If you can approve it tonight, we'll have the signature page and I've got the contract ready for Motorola for it to be signed, and the first payment won't start until this contract ends. So it's just an extension of the current contract. There's not going to be any overlap in service.
I don't see how we should not do it.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I have
Next.
something I want
Okay,
to,
go.
I wanted to, Darcy, I wanted to check in with you on the water department or the utility department. Did we lose an employee in the utility department?
Yes, she resigned.
Okay.
Just until, things improve, we're not gonna replace that position. So
Okay, so now we just have one full-time, one part-time.
2 full-time. The part-time was split over to full-time, so no part-time person.
Okay, we can't do that without bringing it up before the board. So we need to have a review where we can go over the employees of the utility board because they have to go through the Board of Works. Is that right, Jules?
Yeah, so the utility employees are not employees of the clerk treasurer's office, like the separation under statute is still, you are the utility board and you oversee it. So I would picture it more like the police department. When the police department has a new hire that they're going to bring on, they bring it to the Police Merit Commission or the safety board to review, or the fire department brings safety firefighters in for consideration of the Board of Works. So it's different than the way that it's treated as if it was the clerk treasurer's office, if that makes sense. With the clerk treasurer's office, once the appropriation is made in the budget, that money is the clerk treasurer's to staff how she pleases.
I think there was some confusion on that.
There was because State Board of Accounts had talked with us at length about that. So-
And they said they were under the clerk, under the clerk's office.
Yeah. But I mean, whatever Jules says is what's accurate.
Well, I mean, I would go on the record to say I don't agree with the State Board of Accounts in that position. And I think I've made that clear to the State Board of Accounts, and I think the State Board of Accounts attorney has made it clear that she does not like for field agents to be giving legal advice on things of that nature, so.
So we would just need a recommendation for that person, kind of like we do with
So-
police and fire. I'm speaking out loud, sorry, thinking out loud, but that would like come just as a recommendation, then we would go through an approval process, okay?
Yeah, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have the gals we have. I'm just saying that we need to go through the proper channels. And
Would you like to do that this evening, so it's on the record, and, or do you want?
well, I think we need to go through the review first, correct, Jules?
Yeah, I mean, depending upon the board, how you would want it to go by it. I don't know if you are prepared to make any decisions today,
I
or
think we
not.
should table it because I don't know what we have as far as funds for that. Like,
Will this mess up payroll if we,
Significantly impact daily operations, having one full-time and one part-time. It needs 2 full-time. And instead of placing that part-time position, I've been absorbing those hours on myself to try to help offset until we can get utility rate increases in place and start speaking to the deficit spending. So it would really negatively impact the utility department's operations, not having two full-time people. So, but I understand the board's position. We're here to do as you wish.
Well, I think we should take a look at the budget before we decide what we can afford, because if we go full-time, we offer the benefits then, right?
And we did with the other full-time person as well. So
Well, that's what I mean.
it's,
So if we had a full-time and a part-time, we could avoid benefits. But you're saying we need the,
You had two
Yeah.
full-time and one part-time.
well,
So-
I don't want to make it harder for them.
So the full-time person is who resigned. So the part-time person went over to full-time. So now you just have two full-time people, no
Hmm.
part-time person. So that's freed up money not only in water and wastewater, but that person was also paid as stormwater as well. And now that part-time person isn't being, there's no part-time role. That's just absorbed by me. I'm working more hours.
Okay,
So free of charge, because I'm a flat salary.
but I guess what I was saying is it should come before the board first.
I see
before
that
we-
now that that's been explained to
Okay.
me, because that's not been clarified to me. This is the
Well,
first.
I didn't think we had hired anybody for the utility office since
No.
we've been here.
No.
Through us.
No, because like I said, I had that understanding, Mayor and I had that understanding from State Board of Accounts, so that this is the first I knew, anybody's had conversations about it, so nobody's had conversations with me until this evening. But like I said, we can do whatever.
Can we table it until the next meeting? And can we give her permission to work full-time for the next 2 weeks without benefits till we decide? Or did you already put her?
We'd have to retroactive
I'm
something
sorry.
probably.
I'm not trying to be difficult. I just want
Just
to
trying
be
to work
right.
through it.
That's a lot of employment issues that I would have to contemplate. And I don't know that I am in a position to give you a full answer right now on that. Yeah,
Okay,
I would have to look at a lot of different things to come up with a final answer.
okay. Then I'm gonna motion to table it for 2 weeks.
A second.
All in favor?
Uh,
All opposed?
If we were to get an answer sooner, I'd be open to having maybe a special meeting too, if we get clarification earlier, just let us know. And
I'd be okay with that too.
yeah, if we get clarification, if we can help make it,
You just need to.
yeah.
This is again, this is the first I'm hearing of this. Had I known that this was the board's understanding and we had a conversation, I could have had all of this prepared for you this evening. I had no idea till you just asked that question.
Well, I had asked before a couple of years ago, and I thought, I was told then that it was under the clerk's office, but then in the ordinances, it looked like it's under the utility office.
Nobody had advised me that you had gotten to any other understanding other than the understanding Mayor and I were provided by State Board of Accounts with that directive, so.
Okay,
So if somebody will let me know what you need for your decision, that would be really appreciated.
okay.
Thank
We will.
you.
All righty. Anything else? Next meeting will be April 6th at 5:30. Accept a motion to adjourn.
To adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Take a load off. Haven't seen you yet.
Okay.
There's a crowd up there in the hallway.
No, you're like. So, yeah.
Thanks.
Legal. There's a lot of the new rates.
Get a copy of the folder that he handed out.
I don't even make a copy of it. I don't even have a copy of it.
Okay, yeah, I'd like a copy of it.
Can I borrow it?
The EJP? Yes.
Yeah.
Don't know. I'll work on it tonight. Bring it over.
Okay, all right.
Or whatever it is. If it was brown, I'd take it. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. I try to always have extras.
I started earlier.
I have things to get.
When?
Yeah.
Keep them moving, Chief. Keep them moving.
You're
Okay. Yeah, okay. I have that.
Okay, let's call to order the city council meeting for March 16th. Roll call, Roger Cuneo,
Present.
John Burchell,
Here.
Wendy Goins,
Present.
Amy McCurry, Dave Luck, Donna Key Kerr, Jeremy Van Erman,
Here.
City Attorney Jewel Lee,
Here.
Clerk Treasurer Darcy Van Erman, and I'm also here. All right, public comments.
He's got it. Okay.
Is it Margel Martez or Marcel Martinez? Okay.
Is there a Marcel Martinez here? We've got a little podium over here. Sorry, with the microphone. If you could go so we can be on the webcast and. No, it's over here.
Mainly, I just wanted to not published until earlier today, but I could tell this afternoon for somebody eventually respond to it.
Thanks. Lisa.
You're right. I was just out at, can you hear me?
Hold it down.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So I was just out at the Emery Lou building and we've had this meeting out there for 2 weeks or the last 2 meetings. And I know one young lady was out there waiting to see if the meeting was out there and it wasn't. I know the park board sign and the meeting times were there. It would have been nice if somebody had posted that, made a sign that the meeting was going to be here.
Anyway, I also noticed that the roof of the Emery Lee building was being has tarps on it and stapled down and everything like that. I do know last year sometime that there was a check that was written for like $13,000 that was not approved through the park board. And so I'm just kind of curious of how the roof is going to be paid when we can't pay our bills now. And then like the gentleman that was here with the water, the EJP, that was $70,000, 69 something. How are we paying these people if we can't even pay our bills now? Like, where's it coming from? And then our attorney is being paid through the sewer account, which is I could be completely wrong, but that's a misappropriate of funds, considering it should be coming from the general funds. So just some questions of when, how, why this is all happening. Just some questions that the citizens of Alexandria need to be informed of.
Thank you. All right. Meetings minutes for February 17th. Any questions? Not, I'll accept a motion.
Motion to approve. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All righty. Meetings minutes for March 2nd.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, warrant 20238 through 20332 in the amount of $262,214.62.
I did have a question. I noticed that the previous warrants are not on here. Are we still just awaiting the appropriations?
Everything's been appropriated. I sent you an appropriation report in your, with your minutes
Do we not vote on the appropriations
for utilities.
or any?
It wouldn't be the appropriation that you're voting on at that time. It's approval of the claim.
Was anyone else aware that that's what the appropriation report was? You know, it would be nice to have further explanation on these things that are sent to us. We get items, we get revised items. We get items we haven't seen, items we've been asking for, so I was not under that impression that this was the appropriation report to pay those. I'm not sure if anyone else was. And maybe it is just me, and please, if anyone else would fill in. Plus, it would be great to have some type of direction moving forward, both from, the mayor and clerk treasurer as to where we are with these things, other than just an agenda. I would have had questions had I known to ask prior to the meeting, had I known that that was the situation. So I just am asking for some help here, or for the rest of council to chime in and let me know if you feel the same as myself.
I feel that way.
There you go.
I feel the same way because I had no idea, and I don't know if that's my stupidity or if it's just everything that's coming through. Did you understand, Dean? So the majority of us aren't understanding that.
To find out where the monies came, I'm sorry. To find out where the monies came from that were then moved. I would think would need a deeper dive than the 42 page, but again, that's just myself.
Yeah, so I want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. So when I see this, the appropriation report, this appropriation report looks to me as if it is a report as to where you guys approved a budget. So when we talk about, when we talked about a while back about the budget process, if you look here, you have category 1, you have category 2, you have category 3, you have category 5, right? These are the major budget categories that we had talked about, whether it be payroll, supplies, contractual services, you did debt service, those sorts of things. It's the major budget categories. This is where you've placed money back in your budget because you haven't done any additional appropriations. So you voted to place money into these funds that are on this report. That is completely and totally different than the approval of claims. So warrants are, you may have appropriated money for it, but now the department heads are going out based upon the budget that you've passed, getting in their services, their agreements, whatever, bringing that back. And the approval of claims is, yes, this is a valid claim for the use out of that fund that we've already appropriated money for. But that it's a totally separate action than the appropriation of the funds itself. Does that answer your question?
That is what I'm thinking I understand. So the fact that we have this report isn't necessarily what you just explained took place.
I see that report as where you have budgeted money.
In the beginning.
In
So no further
October of last year.
has been made for us to vote on to approve the previous claims. Am I understanding that?
Yeah, and that is different. The approval of claims is different than an appropriation.
And we needed the appropriation in order to move forward to approve the claims. Am I correct?
You have to have an appropriation of money. So part of the approval process is there's got to be a verification that money has been appropriated for that purpose. If it hasn't, then you have to go through an additional appropriation prior to approving that claim.
So an additional appropriation should be brought forth towards the council for their review to approve in order to move forward with paying claims?
Not necessarily.
Okay,
An additional appropriation would have to be brought forth in front of council to approve a claim if you don't have money previously appropriated. So if there's no money that you've appropriated for it or there's no balance remaining in that fund. So let's say it's supposed to come out of category 1, like budget category 1. If you have expended all of the funds in that appropriation prior to approving another claim, you've got to do an additional appropriation to put money back in that fund.
and that is not what this report reflects, correct?
I see, like I'm looking at this report right now, I see this as where your budget stands essentially.
Okay. So technically, anything with a negative would have already been expended from this report. Let's use fire non-revert, for example. It was in a negative, so therefore, in order to put money into it, an appropriation would need to be made to place the money into this account in order for it to be approved and pay for any claims.
I think fire non-revert is a different category. So when you have a fire non-revert, that is funded by way of receipts from EMS services for the most part. Fire department goes out and makes a run. They bill the insurance pays the check, and that comes in. Now, that's how the money gets in there, but there still needs to be an appropriation of those dollars. Did I make it more confusing just now?
I'm having trouble trying to explain what I'm thinking. I think
I think
If the funds balance on the regular funds report shows negative, say water, sewer, hundreds of thousands of dollars negative. If this report doesn't reflect the same, I think we're just trying to figure out how we can pay certain bills. If water or sewer is still negative,
that was gonna be my next question.
how do we appropriate money over to water or sewer to pay those bills? Because we want to, as best we can, pay the bills.
Okay.
That's my in this whole world? Sorry, that's,
It is.
I'm jumping in. That's
That's
my
gonna be
question.
discussion based on him, based on, Jewel with the, I understand fire non-revert is not normal per se because of how the funds come in. And then utilities are also different as we never get money from the utilities to form a budget. We've never seen the utility balances. So
And so when you talk about fire non-revert, and it depends upon how this report is utilized. An appropriation report should hold the balances of all of the monies that the council has taken action to appropriate. But if it depends upon how this document's being treated. I don't know if this is being treated as a true appropriation report or simply like a ledger of balances in the account.
and this is where we need leadership. We need to know these things. We don't have that. It's just sent to us with other things without an explanation. So, and let's be honest, we are questioning a lot more of the things that are sent to us, rightfully so. So I think there's not a single person in this room that does not want to see Alexandria succeed. And if they do, they should not be in this room. So why we are not working together to move forward and do what's best for everyone is, I'm not understanding. And I know that's not for you to answer, but that's kind of, I think, how I feel, how employees feel, how our citizens feel. Everyone's sitting up here, like everyone just wants Alexandria to be successful. So what do we need to do and how can we get the answers in order to move forward, not make any additional mistakes and succeed? Can someone please help with that?
I would second that.
It shouldn't be that hard.
So I don't know that it's appropriate to approve the claims. I see that the others were not approved, but apparently they are no longer
Yeah, I didn't know.
in front of us to need to be approved.
They are, though they still need approved. They're
They're
just
not-
not in front of you today.
Okay,
Why are we moving the next ones if those ones can't be approved?
that's kind of where I feel. That's where I don't know how to move forward.
If I can add something to that, is every 2 weeks we come to this meeting with the same issues. We do not know, preparing for this meeting, what has changed in order for us to be able to pay the bills, for example. So in this instance, I'll give you a clear example. We got the fund report. This month, fire non-revert has a positive balance. So we can pay bills for that, whereas in the past, we've had to hedge because it goes back to that negative fund report, which we have been advised to not pay bills out of negative funds. So still this week, we have water, stormwater, sewage that have negative balances. And so we're trying to get to a point of understanding where when we come into this meeting, we have a clear picture as to what items we are allowed to pay. And if we are not allowed to pay from these funds, what is the point of this going forward? How do we move on from this? How do we make it better? Because we want to see forward action, I think is what we're asking for.
And another thing to add to that is we talked before about the disconnect with Board of Works and council. So if they're approving contracts that now we have to figure out, or the clerk treasurer has to figure out, whomever, how to pay these contracts, they need their finances. They need to know as well.
And that's the appropriations you guys are talking about. Like, if we're gonna pay utility bills out of the general fund, you guys need to vote on an appropriation to move funds from the general fund to pay those bills. And that hasn't been done.
So in what's in front of us tonight, we basically are at the same spot that we were prior. Where if it's a negative balance, I think is what the last meeting was. If it's a negative balance, we are not approving to pay the claim, only the claims that have a positive balance, that have the contract, that have gone through all the steps in order to be paid. But then again, like Wendy talked about, the fire non-revert has some money in it. However, there's several claims that previous than today that, or prior to today, that were denied. So I don't think that there's enough in there to pay those claims, the following and these. At what point then do we know, do we need to do yet an additional reappropriation? Or not, I guess, since it's fire and revert. And I appreciate, Captain Matson, or Chief Matson, I'm sorry, and reaching out, and we having a discussion and learning this a little better. And I know that the number of runs that we do, those type of things, like they are working very, very hard. They need their items paid for, but we need direction so that we can assist them to be able to do their job properly as well. Not properly, they do it properly still. You understand what I'm saying? To not have to have yet another level of worry over their head in order to take care of the citizens.
I don't know if this will help or not.
Okay,
Your fund report, your appropriation report, and your revenue report that was sent to you Friday those were all the balances and all the things as of Friday. So all of the bills that are before you tonight, as well as the bills that have been tabled the previous two meetings, are all deducted out as of Friday. Those appropriation line items, those are the balances left for the remaining of the year. Those fund balances are where they were as of Friday, with all revenue received by the city. Before you, I also ran just a snapshot of information. So the top page is the water utility operating fund for 2026. So it shows the revenue column. That was the revenue that was received for the month of January, February, and so far the month of March. And it shows the expenses going out. So though we overspent expenses to revenue in January, that would be deficit spending. If you look at February, they trended down over $11,000. And then this month, so far, water is under trending almost $9,000. So they are within the revenue that they've received to pay their bills for the month. If you flip to the second page, that just shows you 2025 as a snapshot for your records. The third page is sewage operating. We're still obviously struggling because we don't have utility rate increases. So this still shows every month we are deficit spending in the sewage. So that's third page. Fourth page is your 2025 of sewage. Stormwater was inaccurately stated as deficit spending. Stormwater is not deficit spending. It is in the positive. But your final two sheets are sanitation, which is trash. And we are also still deficit spending. So that page 5 shows 26. And then I did a quick little pencil down at the bottom to show you roughly what your new revenue is going to be on page 5 for the month. To show you just in 26, we're still probably going to be deficit spending in sanitation, but not nearly like we have been. And then that 6th page is sanitation for 25. So I show you that to show that though you have negative fund balances in your water, sewage, and sanitation, I wanted you to be able to see some real-time revenue versus expenses as well, to try to help you with your decision making.
But if the bills are to be paid out of, for the ones that are in a deficit, where does the money come from?
We need council directions for that. That's the council's decision. That's part of what we've been waiting on.
So you need to request an appropriation from the general, correct?
They need to direct us to do that so we can get started on that. I don't have any authority to execute that. I can do it once I'm directed to do it, but I can't just do it. I have no authority to.
So they don't know when they need it, but you can't do it, so no one knows.
Sorry, point of order.
So my question is, it may look good this month and last month, but where did we pull 300 and some $1,000 prior to this year to pay those? Where did that money come
That's
from?
me.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that everybody understands that there's a difference between deficit spending and negative cash balances. Deficit spending is when you are spending more than what the receipts that you are bringing in at that point. A negative cash balance means that you have already overspent the money that you have in that account. That's a concern that has been raised regarding your utilities again and again. When you ask the question, where have we paid that money from? It's had to have come from someplace. I don't know where it is, but my guess is that it's out of your general fund. And my guess is it's out of your general fund. And I don't know that you have made the appropriation to spend those dollars.
Okay, that was my next question as we're going through this. The general fund is something that the council would have control over.
Absolutely, you are the fiscal body. You have to approve everything out of that.
So the fact that that has happened means that it was not appropriated in order for us to have it available and agree to spend it on the utilities. Because it's apparent the amount of money that we get from the general fund every year would not come close to just paying those. And so, I mean, I think everyone knows and is in agreement, even the citizens, that we need to raise these rates, but we want to do it right by people, not without the information that we have or need in order to do those things. So what I'm understanding though, if it had come from the did it come from the general fund? I guess is the
That's my
question. Oh my gosh, I can't.
Darcy, you had to paid, you had to have done something. Did it come from the general fund or did it come from somewhere else?
No, it can't, no, that's why it's deficit. That's why it shows overdrawn balances. That fund is overdrawn. You have to think of each fund like its own checkbook.
I don't
I
even
must be
know how to
missing
move
something.
forward.
It has to have come from someplace. By saying that it's overdrawn with the negative cash balances does not answer, like those bills had been paid. That's why it went to the negative. So I think the question that I'm hearing from the council is what fund did those bills get paid out of?
My understanding of and what you talked about with reserves. So again, I don't want to misspeak or mislead.
On that, on reserves, if there was money in a reserve, then we wouldn't be in a negative.
Well, we
Am
have
I-
to transfer it, but I don't know. I don't see a reserve account with
Yes,
balance.
that's, I guess that's a much more straight to the chase answer.
I just don't know where the reserves are shown.
Then that wasn't the correct answer, so I don't know how else to answer that.
Well, as a clerk treasurer, if you can't, how are we? I'm confused.
I answered the question,
Yes,
but I was advised that that was not the correct answer. So I don't know how to answer your question differently today because everybody, even that I counsel with, the CPAs that I counsel with, State Board of Accounts, I've been working with other people from other communities and other professionals. And they said They agreed with my answer. And I don't want to argue with anybody.
I don't think we're
Miss-
arguing. I just
No,
don't want to
no, no.
understand.
Like Miss Amy said, we're all here to do what's best. I'm answering the question the best way I know how to answer the question. Kind of like you said, Amy, I don't know how to pivot to change it to get us to a resolution for all of us to understand how to proceed forward. But what I do know is when bills aren't paid, I can tell you, or if we don't pay the electric bill and the wastewater plant and the water plant aren't doing their job, then we will have fines from IDEM. Like, we have to still pay bills. So not paying bills because of negative fund balances, that's part of why I wanted to give you this other diagnostic to show you revenue is coming in. We're not driving in the deficit. I will do this snapshot every 2 weeks for you, or every meeting, so you can see it. If you feel that's helpful. I don't know what's helpful because I'm not getting communication of what you would like to see. I'm giving you everything I know to give you. You asked for reports, I've given you every report I can think of.
I think what she's asking is since we know to move money from the general to the utilities to pay bills takes a council vote appropriation. How have they been paid up till now? That's the question she's asking.
With the money that's in the bank, that's why I answered it as the reserves. That last meeting, that was deemed not the correct answer.
So with
It's not the correct answer because even if it's a reserve fund and the money is sitting there in the bank, if the council has not appropriated the dollars for the use for that purpose, it cannot be used. That's why I say that just from it being in a reserve fund is not good enough. This council needs to go forth and take action on every dollar that is appropriated and spent. You've got to move it into one of the 5 major budget categories and have a public hearing and vote on an appropriation. Just because there may be a balance in something does not mean that that can be spent without this council's approval and appropriation.
Unfortunately, I don't see any other option than the general fund. And we know, things that have been earmarked in the general fund and things like that. I think it's time that we have to pay things like the bills, the electric bills, things like that. So what's the action in order to move money out of the general fund? Because I'd like that to happen sooner rather than later. Would anyone else concur?
I agree.
I agree. So the action would be either a transfer or an appropriation of general fund dollars. And when I look at these reports that I just looking at now, when you look at the fund report, I'm looking at a general fund with a current balance as to this fund report of $1,754,721.72. If you're going to make your utilities whole, and that's just to get them out of the negative, you're going to have to then transfer what is in there for the negative balance for the water utility, what is in there for this sewage utility, and add all of those up, what is there for the sanitation utility. And then that is what, after you do that, that is what you have left in your general fund to pay for the rest of this year.
in their earmarked monies in that general fund, which leads me to believe that it's probably not there, or this amount would be higher.
Yeah, that's simply your current balance as of when that report is made. Now, I will say that most likely there will be another tax distribution after the fall bills, but you're probably not going to see that money till December.
And we all know with Senate Bill 1, the other things going on, it's going to be less and less, or at least we're not sure exactly what. So we have got to tighten this up. We have got to get a grip on it, move it forward. It's going to take a lot of work by all of us working together to get this done, but it needs to happen sooner than later. And we just can't move forward until the appropriate steps are taken in order for us to be able to do so. And I know, as I said, I don't understand why we don't. I mean, we all want the same thing. We all need to know how this takes place. We need the leadership to guide us and feel like with the information we're given is the correct information that we need in order to do our jobs. So I don't know. Okay, back to Wendy's. What is the next step? Could someone please? I know they said to appropriate it over. However, how do we know how much? Because there's not even appropriate funds to appropriate.
If you are looking at how to get the bills paid, that the claims that are there, what I would look for is a claim by claim breakdown. What bills are being pulled from which fund and which budget category? And the budgets that need to have a transfer or a additional appropriation, then you make that at that time. For those that are coming out of a fund or an appropriation already that has a balance that can cover it, then you can approve those.
So maybe having a special session where we have all those things in front of us so we know exactly what we're doing. Might be the next step.
I would think that you would want that before you actually got into the meeting so you could take a look at it. The action has to happen at the meeting, but you need to understand what it is that you're going to be doing.
I make a motion that we, I hate to say the word table, but till we have a special session to have those items presented to us so we know exactly what we're voting on and how to move and appropriate correctly. Yes, no, maybe.
Are we well, for point of order for the meeting, are we at claims technically on our meeting agenda? So again, we could probably do is pay those claims with positive balances that we have been doing, but any deficit, negative balance, whatever we want to call it, spending, we've got to reappropriate prior to paying those bills. So your request for a meeting is tied up with claims. So
Okay.
we can pay what claims we can and then do a motion. I'm just thinking Robert's rules real quick. Sorry, how we move forward, but
Why don't you make that motion to pay the.
make a motion to pay the claims as listed with positive fund balances. We will hold any negative fund balance claims until we can have a special working session and or working meeting or whatever the follow-up meeting is publicly to move any kind of funds. But I make a motion to pay all the claims we possibly can with positive fund balances.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We'll announce when that meeting is as soon as we figure out how long it's going to take to get that done. Get the information in front of you. The payroll for March 1st, $155,152.42.
Move to approve.
Oh.
Sorry, did you have questions?
I think I
Okay.
did. And I think I'm in the right area for this, and.
I don't know.
On the allowance docket, am I in the right area? The right
Yes.
thing? Okay. So I do have questions on the first page and page 2 and page 3, page 4 and 5. There's several payback error for fire and police. I just didn't know what that meant. Well, for the fire, it's 180 60, and for the Fire, it is like 195.99, and there's like 10 of each of them.
So when we appropriate, or when we, figured per, for 2026, we were given the rate of 26.3%. And when we went to submit that to the state, it was rejecting our submissions because they stated they were only collecting 23.3%, even though they told us at the, going into 26 to collect 26.3%. So we had to reimburse that back to the police and fire that it was withheld from. So
Okay,
that's why you're seeing that.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that a one-time thing? Okay.
And those were their monies to begin with, that you
Yes.
just to make sure that
Yes.
everyone
Yeah.
on the same
We
page
were
there.
pretty dumbfounded that when they told us that they could change that number. So
And then I know we've asked before, but just since this has come up, the two different columns, one except overtime and one that says overtime only. And I don't know if I need to get with Erica on that.
that would probably be best because I do know there's the way this report recites is not as concise as what you would think it would be. So yes, that is probably a better question for her.
All right, okay, I will.
That way we can pull like this, we can pull the specific pay file for the person and verify what was transpiring.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I make a motion to accept. Where are we at?
Payroll.
Payroll.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Old business. Ordinance to amend rates and charges sewage works. It's been revised a little bit. And we want to give you guys a chance to digest all of that so I expect everybody will want to table it this time until we'll have it on the next meeting and
Are we having Baker Tilly come back to
We-
kind of
we are-
validate some of those? That was
we are-
my biggest concerns.
Will
with-
it be at the next meeting?
that Doug will be at the next meeting, yes,
Okay, cool.
from
Thank
Baker
you.
Tilly to explain everything.
Will we be having the next meeting at Emery Lee?
It should be here.
We can. Special.
Did we do pension?
I don't think we did.
Did
We do that,
once a month? I'm sorry. Okay. I thought we missed pension. Thank you.
So let me just verify for a special meeting, it can only be what's on the agenda for that meeting. Or
You
do we
mean
need
a
to,
public hearing,
no, when we have the special meeting for the,
financials?
just because I think we need to have a discussion as to, is there a reason that it's here instead of at the Emery Lee?
If everybody wants it at the Emery Lee, it's more than welcome to be at the Emery Lee.
Well, just, I think, further discussion in order to accommodate,
Okay.
but that might be more appropriate.
All right.
Any other?
For the special meeting.
No,
Oh,
No, for the next
meeting.
meeting.
Okay,
For the-
yeah.
For the
with
rate.
Baker Tilly. So when Baker Tilly comes
For
to give,
presentations?
yes, I feel like it needs to be done at Emery Lee so that everyone can hear the presentation.
Okay. If they want to
Yeah.
table it and
Oh,
You guys need
we
some
don't.
Official action.
Is it on the agenda as an action item or does it just stay tabled if we won't bring it up? What's best? Motion to table?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on there as old business, so my recommendation would be to actually take a motion to table, so
Got
it's
it,
clear
okay.
that it is on for the next meeting.
Do we need to do them separately?
I think we do it all together, so they're all tabled.
I'll make a motion to table the remaining ordinances, water, sewer, stormwater until the next meeting.
I would second.
all in favor,
Aye.
all opposed? All right, do we have any more board comments?
Yeah, Delta Theta Tau has a committee that met last week, and we have earmarked May 9th for our 44th annual Care Day. So stay tuned for flyers about that. It's always a great day to get involved and help clean up the city. It'll be a little bit different this year, so we'll have some updates, but would love to see more people there at Care Day. Thank you. May 9th from 8 a.m. to noon.
Anybody else? If nothing else, next meeting will be April 6th, and I accept the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you all.